Hello everyone and welcome to my Unreal Engine 4 tutorial series on how to make a skill tree system. So last time we left off by being this skill tree UI, so we can toggle it on and off. And in here in this new tutorial, what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a UI. So how are we gonna do that? So let's first open your skill slots and also all your skill tree UI both. In your skill slot we have made certain variables, so add a new variable. We're gonna call this skill status, and this would be a text variable. Also we're gonna make a new variable called skill description, so skill desk image, so this would be a description image. So let's say we have to do double jump, so there is an icon for the skill that would do double jump, and in the details panel there would be a bigger image that would also do a double jump. So make this instance editable and exposed on spawn, and make the type of this variable texture 2D, the object reference, we also need a required skill points. I know we have did this in previous, but I actually somehow deleted it, so just make again required skill points. This would be an integer. If you have already made it, you don't have to make it again. And made suggested skill points, suggested player level, let's say suggested player level. So what is suggested player level? So suggested player level is something like let's say you have enough skill points to acquire this skill, but you don't have enough players level, so you cannot acquire that skill. Hit compile and save, and I think it's good to go. Let's make a enumeration in here. So in the skill tree folder, right click on your content browser, and in your blueprint you can see a enumeration. So what is enumeration? Enumeration is, let's say we can call this an array, so it will start from indexing 0 to whatever you are, but you can call it by names. So we're gonna call this e underscore skills, e underscore skill might work, and in here press this new button to add a skill, and we're gonna name our skill. So you can name whatever you want. I'm gonna name double jump my skill name, so double jump is my skill. Just hit save and we are good to go. So this is our skill tree UI and this is our skill slots. So make a new variable called skill, and this skill type would be, so the enumeration we have just made, the e underscore skill. Make this instance editable and exposed on spawn. Compile and save, and I think it is okay. So in your skill tree UI folder widget, let's make a skill tree UI. So how are we gonna make that? So first make two texts. So we're gonna call this available points, and just duplicate first. Let's set this anchor point to upper right corner. Make this 0 and x alignment of this to 1. Make it size to content so it with more sense. Let's make this position to, let's say 50, minus 50 would work, and position of y to 20, 30. I think 25 would work fine. Okay, 25, and the justification is from right to left. So okay, and yeah, I'm fine with this font size. After that, just Control W to duplicate that, and we're gonna call this player level, and make player level upper and this player available skill points to lower. So how are you gonna do that? Make this position to 40. I think this might work. Oh no, 60, 70 might work, and player level would be obviously minus 50 comma 30. no, minus 50 comma 25, whatever you like. And the player available skill point size would be 30, so it looks more bigger. Hit compile, save, and we are good to go. But now we need these two, player level and players available skill points. So open your skill tree component and make variable call available skill points. This would be a integer. Make another variable called players level, so player level. This would also be integer, and make another variable called next level skill points, so next level skill points s. Okay, so we have made these three variables. Now hit compile and save, and let's make this player level's current value to 1. So our currently, whenever our player spawn, our player's current level would be 1, and it will gonna increase. Okay, and minimize it and open your XP component we have just made in previous lectures. And remember, in here we have this level of function, this one. We have made this level of function, and what is this level of function will do? So this level of function will increase your current XP level when your current XP is exceed to some level. So whenever you level up, you're gonna add your skill trees available skill points to +1. So whenever you level up, your skill points gonna increase. So how do you gonna do that? So cast it to your player character, third person. From that, get your player reference by get player character, and from this blue node get your skill tree, so skill tree component. And what we're gonna do, let's say we need a, whenever we exceed, we need to set our skill points to +1. so set available skill points, this one. And what we wanna do is we have to set these skill points to +1. So how are you gonna do that? Just grab this node from the skill tree component, get available skill points, and +1. So hit plus and integer plus integer and add it to here. So this will gonna look something like this. So whenever our player reaches certain XP, we're gonna increase our skill points. Close that up, we don't need that. And let's bring back to our skill tree UI. So let's bind this. So our available skill points, this is our in this. So let's bind this to create binding. And what is our available skill points clear binding? So first what we have to do, we have to cast it. So I have casted it. So in the event construct node, I have casted it to my third person. From that I have promoted this to a variable called player, and I have promoted our skill tree component to another variable called skill tree component. So in here, grab your skill tree component and get available skill points and attach it to here, something like this. In the designer value, you can see our justification is left, and we have bind this. Also we have to bind this players level. So same thing, grab your skill tree component, get your player level this time. So get your player level and attach it to your return value. Simple. Make this bit room so it looks more clean. Hit compile and save, and we have bind our two things. So let's check it out. So if we hit tab, we have 0 skill points and 1 player, our player level is 1. But if we hit 4 two times, so we have got experience points. So we have got our skill tree. So our skill points now is 1 and our player level is 0. Let's make it a bit more format text so it looks more bit good. So in your player level, in here, before doing this, just delete this to text integer, and in here make this format text. So format text, you can see, and you can now format this text. So how are you gonna format text? So just do something like this: open your curly bracket, hit T, close your curly brackets, and wait, first type level, capitalize it, and open curly bracket, press whatever character you want, and again, and hit enter. So you're gonna see this little node. This will gonna format it, connect it to here, and what will it gonna do? It will gonna print something like this level, and this T would be your player's level value. So now if we hit press, it will print something like this level and then 1. Okay, so we have done this part, and let's bring back to our UI, skill tree UI. So yep, we have done this on your skill tree UI. So what we need a vertical box. So grab that vertical box and add it to your canvas panel. It will look something like this. And what we need a border. So add a 2 border. In the first border, what we need a text. So in this first node, we need a text, and make this vertical box size to content. So it will size to content, and make the anchor point of this vertical box to something this left middle. Position of X should be 100 might work. Position of Y should be minus 200, whatever you like. And we have size to content, so it doesn't matter what we do. In this second border, add a size box. Yep. And the size box child and width, child layout, the width and height override 400 comma 500. I'm just checking. Yep, 400 comma 500 would work. And click on this border, and let's make it a bit more look like Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So how are you gonna do that? Just click on this brush color, and we have made this little red color. So just click on this, and for the border we're gonna make it transparent. So set the brush color to this transparent. You can set it manually, and we have done. On this text block, I'm gonna set it to something like combat skills and capitalize it so it looks more good. So combat, yep, and the alignment would be center, not center, in here center. Hit compile and save, and the padding would be 4 for everything, so it looks more good. After that, click on this size box and add a grid panel, this one, add it to here, close that, and you can see we have added our grid panel. So what with grid panel will what we do with this grid panel? So it will arrange your skill slots icon in a proper way. So let's say we need 4 column and 4 rows. So how are you gonna do that? 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, just hit 4 times. So 0 1 2 3 4 total is 4. We have done this, we have done all the things, and now what we need to do is to add our skill points. So how are you gonna add that? In your user creator, this palette, if you scroll down this bit, you can see this user created. So if we click on this, you can see our skill slot. Just grab it and add it to here. So you can see we have added our skill point, and if you click on this skill point, we can now access all the things like skill name, skill description. So you can just add it by clicking on it. But if you add another skill point, it will overlap between these two. So how are you gonna do that? So on this skill points, you can see our grade slots. So it's 0 and 0, column is 0 and row is 0. So let's say row to 2, so it will bring back to here, but we have only 2, so it is not showing you properly. If you hit 1, then it will not change the position of it currently have, right? But you can just play around it and set it to whatever you want. So right now what we wanna set, we're gonna set it to something like this. The row would be 0 and column would be 1, so it will set something like this. You can see that. And our horizontal alignment, I would say this to center for both, so it will looks it looks more bit, not center for both, center for horizontal alignment and vertical for justification. So it looks more bit natural. So let's add another scale slots, 1 and 1. So you can see we have added 4 skill slots, this, and I'm gonna say the column of this to 3 and column of this to 2. So you can see that, let's say the row of this to 2 and row of this to 1. So you can see that this is how we can arrange. You can play around it and set it to whatever you want. Hit compile and save, and you can change the skill name and skill description just by clicking on it. So let's say I'm gonna say this skill name to double jump. So how are you gonna do that? Just double jump, and this skill lets you jump twice. Simple. We can add our skill icon here. If it's available or not, you can just tick on it, but it's first tree, it's first skill slot, so I'm gonna tick. And you can add your skill type. Right now we have just only one skill, so I have just added, and required skill points would be 1, so it will require 1 skill point to unlock. So let's check this out. So if we press tab, you can see we have 4 skill slots. You can arrange this to whatever you like, but this is the proper idea of how it is gonna look. Close that up and open your skill slots. So after this, what are you gonna do? You can see this vertical box, you can just control W to duplicate that. So we have just duplicated that, and same, the position would be, let's say this time 500 comma minus 200. No, 500 bit too small, 550. Yep, I'm satisfied with it. Okay, and in here let's arrange the skill points to some different type. So how do you gonna do that? Just click on your grid box, grid panel. Let's say I want to arrange this to 1, so it will look something like this, and I want to arrange it to something like 1, or I'm fine with this, I'm gonna leave it to 0. If you exceed this limit, then this will just take the last of it, so try not to do that. Okay, I'm happy with this. Hit compile and save, and let's just change this to stealth. Okay, hit compile, save, and this will look a bit more good. So we have done these things, and now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a skill detail system. So how are you gonna do that? So add a border in your canvas panel, and we're gonna call this details box, and make the anchor points to right alignment. Make this 0, 0 the position, and offset of x to 1, and make this size to content. And let make the, we're gonna do that after. So first add a size box, so we can after position it, and make this size box child and width override, height and width to 400 comma 500 will work because we did that. Yeah. So just click and this position x, and position would be for x, let's say minus of 100. I'm not satisfied. Minus of 70. Yep. Position of y would be minus of 200. Okay, let's make this child width override, height override to 550, and this would be 450. I'm satisfied with these results. Yeah, we have done these things. Hit compile and save, and inside this size box add a vertical box. So what the size box do, size box don't let your widget exceed the certain limits of your size box current limit. In your vertical box add a border, and inside that border add a text, and we're gonna say this text name to skill status, and the border would be I'm happy with the border of the red, and the border of this widget details widget, I'm happy with this transparent border. Hit compile, save. We have done these things. Now what we're gonna do, we need a skill name. So just grab a text and add this to vertical box. So we have this text, and make this vertical box left padding to something like 10. So it makes more sense to me, and 10 is I think bit too small. 15 would work fine for me. Also write 15. Make the text up top through 5, bottom to also 5, so it looks good. Compile, save. Let's test this out. If we hit tab, you can see our skill points, and this no, this looks bit more zombie thing. Make this skill vertical box padding to 0, and make this text padding to something like, no, I'm satisfied with this. We don't have to change that. It is UI, you can change it to whatever you want. You can see you can see this little space in here, we don't need that. So let's make this. So in your details we have padding. Yeah, we have padding in your details box. Change this to 0. This would work. Our UI must look good, otherwise people don't like it. Nothing else. The text padding would be I'm satisfied with left to 10. The skill name text padding I'm satisfied with to left to 10, or let's say 15 for our name text. After doing so, made another size box. Make sure you do that, this size box in your details vertical box, and inside this size box we want to add a image. The name of this image would be description image, and make this size box to height override would be 200. I think it's a bit too large. 150. Sorry, 150. Oh, come on, man. What I'm doing? 115. Yeah. Yep. I'm satisfied it. Okay. After doing so, make a text in your vertical box, and this will be your require skill points, require points, and make this padding to, let's say 30. Not 30, left to 10, top to 30. So yeah, this would work. Hit compile and save, and I think we have done all the things. No, we need another text. So between this available text and this one, add a text, and left padding would be 10, and we're gonna call this, any guesses? Skill description. Yep. And the skill description would be a bit too large, so it will gonna exceed this limits, and we don't need that. So from the right also add a padding of 10, and we're gonna wrap this. So you can just auto wrap it or wrap all text, whatever you want. I will wrap it to, let's say 370. 370 would work for me actually, I guess. So we have done all the things, right? If you want to add another tab of this in here and call it whatever you want, it's up to you how do you gonna create it. It's all about your creativity. After doing so, we have done all the things. So thank you so much guys for watching, and in the next tutorial we're gonna add a functionality to detail our widget. So whenever we hover over our skill slots, like if you mouse gonna hover over this details panel would visible, and you're gonna see whatever skill you want to achieve. And if you hover over out, then this widget would gonna disappear. That's what we're gonna make in our next lecture. So thank you so much guys for watching, and bye bye.